maybe they ride him more here down the stretch.
Hey, I'm not sure it was actually in the game plan for him to have as few carries as he has, but it might play out really well for them now. As you noted, they want to ride him down the stretch. He should have fresh legs.
Brought down by Nate Gehrig. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Well, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
Boy, tight game like this, fourth quarter, personal foul penalties, a no-no.
Yeah, we know the emotions are running high, the tensions are the same. Who can control them best could ultimately win it.
Stafford going to give this one off to Johnson. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. Let him go by a little too easily there.
Well, that's what we saw on film, isn't it? His head goes down oftentimes when he goes to punch when he's trying to block. And when you do that, you can't see your target. He went right past him and made the play.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
A loss of a yard, and it brings up fourth. Bear in mind, that wasn't a big lineman back there for the tackle for loss. That was a cornerback.
So are you saying the myth has been shattered? That all of them are not just cover corners? Some of them actually will stick their nose in and tackle when necessary? That's what we just saw, isn't it?
From a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a one-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position. But it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
First play of the drive in their hip pocket. Of course, the focus here has to be the touchdown or the two-point conversion. Field goals aren't going to help you.
Yeah, but how about that first play of the drive? Just to get them started. Nice gain, got some positive momentum going. They're on their way, and they don't have to rush. This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game. Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. That first down completion only netted him 3. Second and 7. Here's a throw that's taken in out of the backfield. And he's got this down to the 35. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. Hate to see this. Week 1 of the season. We'll be back. So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's first and 10 at the 35-yard line. Now this one over the middle into the hands of his tight end, complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. Wilson going to lead his guys up first and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. He will push his way down to about the 14. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be second and 8. The last run good for 2. Here's second and 8.
I'm going back to you.
Here's Wilson. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick. And he returns it here to his own 18-yard line.
Okay, partner. No surprise to you. I'm going to look at this from the defensive perspective. In the rain, you have to be more cautious trying to cover passing routes. Why? The offense knows where they're going with the football. The receiver knows the route he's going to run. You have to make sure you keep your footing underneath you.
Now a run on first down is not going to get off the ground as they will get him behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of 3. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. They've got a second down now as they search for a way to get this one to the field. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation. Now Stafford. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
Finally a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
So from their own end zone here, this kicks away. And certainly not the greatest of kicks there. This one will be down inside their own 40-yard line. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Back to throw. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. They'll look to throw. Gets it to Gordon. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Josh Gordon, 42 yards. As they now sit just a 2-point conversion away from tying this game up in the 4th quarter.
So they got the touchdown they needed to cut this to 2, but now they've got to get back to the huddle. No celebration time. Got to figure out what they're going to do on the 2-point conversion.
Huge conversion there to tie this thing up, but they're not done yet. Their defense needs to get a stop.
Yeah, there's still plenty of time for the other team to come downfield and put some points on the board, but job 1 was taken care of. The 2-point conversion to get this thing tied.
Now the Lions offense, they get ready to head back out there. They've got work to do, but they do still have a bit of time here.
And they've got to feel comfortable with that, but they have all their play sequences called. If they get out of bounds, that allows them to huddle and call another play, but if they don't, it's hurry up to the line of scrimmage and either spike it and stop the clock or continue to move it downfield in order to try and get in range and win this game.
See if they can do just that. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Clock's under a minute. Still plenty of time, partner. They have all 3 timeouts.
That means they have plenty of options in their play calling and where they target on the field. They can throw it downfield, maybe even in the middle, and use their timeouts.
Catch is made by Hawkinson, the tight end. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. That'll go as a pickup of 32 on the catch and run. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. They'll run here with Coleman out of the gun. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. So 4 quarters wasn't enough, and we are off to overtime. Don't change that dime. And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball... So a tie ball game here as the kick's away.
Get ready.
The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
Yeah, as we said, they control their own destiny now. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
from just shy of midfield. Wilson, here's Carson with a catch out of the backfield. And he'll get it down here to the 43.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
They run it with Carson, and he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on third. Decision time now on fourth and about 1.5 yards.
I can still hear my high school coach, John Ford, right now. I want my number one play with my number one runner over my number one blocker. Get me the first down. But some may very well say, punt this thing away, pin them down deep, and play field position.
Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their own 14-yard line. They'll start out on the ground with Coleman. And a very short pickup there across the 15 to the 16. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. Now Stafford with his first throw of OT. Gets this one to Hill. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. A big play on the catch and run, covering 34 yards. What a game it's been for this duo.
They remind me of a good comedy team. They know how to play off of each other so well. No matter how one riffs, the other's right there to pick them up, and they are shredding them in this ballgame.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Stafford throwing deep for Galladay. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. To throw is Stafford. He is going to find Hill here. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Charles, you get into these overtime situations, that's not a bad guy to dial into.
Well, when you have to have plays, especially in a spot as you just described, we're in OT, you've got to go to the guys you can trust and you know are going to make the plays. What they say, it's not the X's and the O's, it's the Jimmys and the Joes.
And he'll work his way inside the 30 now to the 28. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. They will run again with Coleman, and only able to muster a couple down to about the 27. The good run on 1st down followed up by a not-so-good run on 2nd down.
Now let's find out if they're going to stick with the run here on 3rd down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I said go with your best running play over your best blocker.
And he will have a 1st down at about the 21-yard line. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains. Now a 1st down throw. Stafford. It's Hill. Complete. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. The Lions passing game in sync now. They've got another 1st down. They go back to that well. He's had a great game. Defensively, they haven't been able to stop him. Same thing here in overtime.
And sometimes that goes to the play caller's ego because a lot of times you have so many...
Oh, a hit. He lost the football. Stafford puts it on the ground. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And my, how the tables have turned. They had a chance inside the red zone, punch that thing in and end it. Now we're going the other way.
And it's real easy to just look at them and say, boy, what an error, what a mistake you made. But how about the defense coming up huge? Let's give them a little bit of credit, keeping their team in the game, because if they score a touchdown there, it's game over.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10.
We got 3, fellas, we got 3.
They run again with Carson. And an alley to run. And able to get it across the 10 to the 15. Whistles come in and a timeout. Just 8 seconds left in OT. Now they have a little more space to maneuver from the 15, 1st and 10. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Oh, and it's intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Lions touchdown.
Touchdown. You got two, son. He took you to school.